Hello everybody, Sir Beaton here and welcome back to another past paper practice video. In this video I'll be tackling some algebra questions, so let's head straight into the first one. So the question says simplify. We're asked to simplify these here. So we have 3m minus 2 open bracket m plus 1, and then we have the other one. So let's deal with the first one. So let me work 1 right here. So we have 3m minus 2 in bracket m plus 1. We're asked to simplify this. So what we want to do first, we want to get rid of these brackets by distributing the number directly outside the bracket. So we have a 2 outside the bracket, but also we have a sign in front of the 2, so we can treat this as a negative 2 outside the bracket. So you need to be very careful and treat this as a negative 2. So we distribute the negative 2 throughout. So we have 3m, a negative 2 times m would be a negative 2m, a negative 2 times 1 would be a negative 2. This will then be 3m minus 2 would become 1m, or we can say m minus 2. And that is the answer for this question, m minus 2. So next one, let's work the other one, which is 3 over y minus 2 over y minus 2. We're asked to simplify this. So we have some fractions, so we have to subtract this. So let's look at the denominators first of all. They are not the same, so we need to find the LCM. And how do we find the LCM of algebraic fractions? This will just simply be y multiplied by y minus 2. And that is the LCM, as easy as that. Later on we can simplify if it can be simplified. So we divide. So y divided by the LCM here. So this is like y open bracket y minus 2 divided by y will give us, so this y will simply cancel to that y and we're left with y minus 2. So we multiply this 3 by y minus 2. So this is like 3 open bracket y minus 2 would simply give us 3 times y will give us 3y, and 3 times negative 2 will give us a negative 6. So we'll have 3y minus 6 minus, and y to the second divided by this here. So let me just erase this now. So you have y minus 2 divided by this. So we just put y minus 2 here. So this y minus 2 cancels with this y minus 2. We just left with y. So we multiply this answer by y. So 2 times y would give us 2y. And then we work it to the top. We put the like terms together. So we'll have 3y minus 2y minus 6. All divided by y, open bracket y minus 2. So this will then give us 3y minus 2y would simply give us y minus 6. And this will be divided by, and then we distribute here now, so it's y times y would be y squared, y times negative 2 would simply be negative 2y, and this is our answer when we simplify that and combine them together. So this is our answer, and that's how we get our mark. The next question says solve the equation. And we have the equation 2 open bracket x minus 1 close bracket is equal to 5 over 2. And we are asked to solve this. So before we can solve this, we can simply distribute this 2 throughout here. So 2 times x would give us 2x. 2 times minus 1 would give us a negative 2 is equal to 5 over 2. And then we can do two things. We can choose to multiply this entire equation by 2 to get rid of this denominator here, or we can work with it. So I'll do both ways. So I'll multiply this entire thing by 2, this entire equation by 2. This would be 2x times 2 would be 4x, and 2 times 2 would be, so we have minus 4, and we multiply this by 2, this will cancel to this. So this is equal to 5, and then we solve from here. So 4x would be equal to, subtract and take 2 will add, so 5 plus 4, this will be 9. So x would therefore be equal to 9 over, since 4 is multiplying, take it over, it will divide 9 over 4. Hence, the answer is 9 over 4. And that is one way we can solve it. Or, let's continue from this step. So we have 2x minus 2 is equal to 5 over 2. So this 2 is subtract, we take 2, we'll add in, so we'll have 2x is equal to 5 over 2 plus 2. And if you punch this in the calculator, 5 over 2 plus 2, this will give us 4.5, which is the same as multiply and add. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9 over 2. So 2x is equal to 9 over 2. And now this 2 is multiplying, so we take 2 will divide. So we'll have x is equal to 9 over 2 divided by 2. Hence x will be equal to 9 over 2. We change and flip. This becomes multiplication, and this 2 will become 1 over 2. Hence x will be equal to 9 times 1 is 9, 2 times 2 is 4. So 9 over 4 is the answer. So either way you want to work it is up to you. It doesn't really matter. So let's go. Let's carry on. Last question now. The last question says, calculate the range of values of v when we have 5 minus v is less than or equal to 2v minus 1. So let me write it back. 5 minus v is less than or equal to 2v minus 1. So we want to do, let's put all the terms with v on this side, on the left hand side. And let's carry all the terms with numbers on this side. So we'll have negative v, and we treat this inequality sign just like how we would treat a normal equal sign. So you have, let me carry over this. This here is adding, we take it over to subtract. So we have negative v minus 2v is less than or equal to negative 1. And we take this over, this is adding, we take it over to subtract. So this will be subtract 5. So negative v subtract 2v will give us a negative 3v is less than or equal to negative 1 subtract 5 will give us a negative 6. And this big step now, we want to solve for v. So we have this negative 3 is multiplying. So when we take over the negative 3, now here's the thing about inequality. When we have a negative, let's say we're in this last step and we have a negative, and when we take it over to either multiply or divide, we have to flip the inequality sign. So this will be v is equal to, so when we take over this negative 3, it's multiplying, take it over, divide. So we flip this inequality sign because of that. So this will be, instead of less than or equal to, this will be greater than or equal to negative 6 divided by a negative 3. So v would be greater than or equal to, this negative will cancel out, 6 divided by 3 would give us 2. So v would be greater than or equal to 2. And that would be, and this would represent the range of answers that will satisfy this inequality. So let's check to make sure that is true. So we know numbers greater than or equal to 2 would be 3, and we can have start off with 2, 3, 4, etc. So let's plug in this 3 and see if it will satisfy this inequality. So this will be 5 minus v, which will be 3, is less than or equal to 2 times 3 minus 1. So 5 minus 3 would be 2, is less than or equal to 2 times 3 is 6, 6 minus 1 would be 2 is less than or equal to 5. So this is true, this is correct. So let's say we had not, let's say we didn't switch around the inequality sign. Our answer would have been v is less than or equal to 2, right? Let's say we didn't switch it wrong. So a number less than or equal to 2 would be 1. So let's use 1. Let's substitute 1 and see if that will work. So 5 minus v in this case is 1, is less than or equal to 2 times v, which is 1, minus 1. So 5 minus 1 would be 4, is less than or equal to 2 times 2 is 2 times 1 is 2, minus 1 would be 1. So 4 is less than or equal to 1, so this is absolutely not true. And that is why we had to switch around this part, because the negative impacted the sign. The negative impacted the inequality sign. So whenever you have to divide or multiply by a negative, you switch the inequality sign, because if you don't do that, it will give you an answer that is false. And with that, this has brought me to the end of this video. I trust that you have a good understanding of how to answer these kind of questions, and I want you to keep practicing. Practice makes perfect. So I'll see you in the next video, in which I'll be tackling some more questions. Until then, take care and keep practicing.